Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the South Carolina Gamecocks Dynasty here on EA Sports College Football 25, where today our number 9 ranked South Carolina Gamecocks at 3-0 will hit the road for their first SEC clash of the season as they face the 2-1 and 14th ranked Kentucky Wildcats in a pretty big showdown early on in the SEC schedule. If you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. As SEC is underway, we went 3-0 in the non-conference slate, but have our big test here. Kentucky's a good team. They're the 14th ranked team. They are 2-1 though, and their only loss was in week 1 to NC State, a team that we just beat. So if you do that math, we should win this game. It is not going to be easy as we're underway here with the 4th game of the season for both teams. It'll be the Wildcats, who will be starting off with the football, and we'll see how their offense does, led by senior impact quarterback Deion Sanders. Had a good start to last season before fading down the stretch a little bit. He'll start off on the ground. This is Jeremy Proctor, the former 5-star halfback from Lakewood, Ohio. The last game had 43 yards on the ground. Gets the second carry here on 2nd and 6, and he's going to pick up a first down. 2 carries, 11 yards early. You can see 153 on the season. 2 touchdowns to his name. At his own 34, he's going to get a 3rd straight carry, and then another big hole up the middle. Kentucky likes to run this slow, methodical, like NFL style of offense, and that's showing off well here. Is on the first throw of the day for Sanders. It'll be a first down. Sanders last week, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns, less than 50% though in his passes in his win. Out of midfield now off the play fake. Here's Sanders wanting to scramble, but it's going to quickly collapse. Chauncey Parkey, Andy Everett are both there for the sack. Sanders can run, and we saw that worked last week for NC State against us. Good stop there, though. It was 2nd and 12. Now they go with the draw to Proctor, and he picks up 9 off his 4th carry, and it's a 3rd down here for Kentucky. From the 45, underneath center, Sanders is going to throw for it. He looks short, nobody covering the flats, and now Proctor gets involved in the air. 3rd first down of the drive here for Kentucky as they move the chains. Next carry is Proctor up the middle. Another huge gash. And he breaks the tackle, and Proctor's going to go the distance. 38 yards for the halfback. Touchdown Wildcats. And Kentucky's on the board on their first drive, 7-0. Now it'll be South Carolina's turn to start off their offensive part of the game. As coming off a big win last week against NC State in an absolute thriller that was all-out chaos. Looking for less of that there, though. It was on 1st and 10. They'll start with a run for Todia, who only gets 2, as the impact defensive end Tim Anay with the stop. 2nd and 8, Brock rolls out and dumps it off short for Todia, and he's going to get a first down through the air. Now the pistol set here. They hand it off to Todia again, and he's not going to go very far. The run game has been very slow to start the season. Despite having a really good offensive line, they haven't been able to create holes for Keenan Todia. Here's a nice pitch pass to Juan Gallegos that looks like it won't count those. It'll be coming back. Left guard Ahmad Jacobson going to be called for the holding call. So that'll eliminate that long play as it's now 2nd and 17. Brock will head to the air, drops back to throw, looks short. He's got Ben Shaw, and Ben Shaw, the true freshman, will get 13. Makes it a much more manageable 3rd and 4. Bring a man closer into the formation. Brock to throw, set up a screen for Todia. He's going to have a first down and a little bit more as he gets out, flips it to the other 43. Last week, Todia had 8 catches in the air, only for 38 yards. Like to see him get involved in the passing game, considering the run game has not been very good. But all right, what I'm talking about him, he commits a false start here as he jumps, as well as right tackle Keelan Rugamba, who's back in the lineup today. 1st and 15, now a reverse to Gallegos, who spins forward to gain at 5, so the penalty yards will be erased. Now on 2nd and down, Brock to throw, wants across the middle. He's got his tight end, Danny Cribbs, in the 2nd level, who's been very reliable in the early portion of this season. From the 24 now, here's Todia, and again, there's not anywhere to go. Freshman Jamal Bitts with the stop. Makes it now 2nd and 9, Brock to throw, pocket collapsing, but throws a dart to Goodman. Great throw there by Brock with pressure in his face. Now it's goal to go from the 5. Brock next play wants to scramble, but he goes down. That's Tim Anay. 3.5 sacks on the season for him. Now 2nd goal from the 15. Brock rolls to his right, trying to outrun the defense, and he will get around the corner and pick up 7. And now it's 3rd and goal from the 8. Brock the throw, looks short. He's got McCord, but Frank McCord can't hold on back in the lineup after an early season injury, so they will attempt the 25-yard field goal for Martigues. Otogla, and he misses it. He doesn't curve in enough. And all that's for nothing as they miss the field goal, and that'll bring us to the end of a very quick first quarter. Kentucky up 7-0. Both teams have had a full possession. As you can see, the time of possession a perfect 7 to 8 minutes. But it's been Kentucky that currently has the lead, and they're currently in South Carolina territory. At the 32 on 1st and 10, a big hole again for Proctor, who's had a great start to this game, already up over the 100-yard mark on 8 carries. Stays in here as Kentucky enters the red zone to throw left side. That one's lob. It's a dangerous pass. Griggs doesn't make a play on it, though. It's caught for a gain of 5. Deion Sanders, a perfect 5 for 5 for 45 yards to begin. Is on 2nd and 5. This time we bring pressure, and Parkey's able to get in the backfield untouched. That's a loss of 2. 3rd and 7. Sanders, to throw. He's actually going to run it himself, and he's going to pick up the first down. Goal to go from the 1. Dangerous territory here for the South Carolina defense. They give it to Proctor, who will dive into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown on the day. And now Kentucky leads 14-0. South Carolina's got to get something going, or they're going to risk falling even more behind. 1st and 10, not anywhere to go for Todia. Only gains 1. After an incomplete pass, now it's 3rd and 9. Brock quickly rolls to his right and just wants to throw it short. That one's a dangerous pass, incomplete. And South Carolina will punt it right back to Kentucky, who's already at the 42 of South Carolina. 1st and 10 off the play fake. There's a gain of 2 in the air. Empty here, 2nd and 8. Short pass. This one's caught by the tight end, Jared Cantwell. And senior will have a first down, his 4th catch already of the afternoon. At the 30 for Kentucky, it's a delay give to Proctor, and there's some good defense. Only gets 2. He's got no yards on his past 3 carries. That's a plus. 2nd and 8, though. This time he'll get some yardage back. That's a gain of 6 up the middle. And you got 3rd and 2 again. Short pass, and it's a tough one, but it's caught. First down, drive continues. Sanders now 9 for 9 on the afternoon, and they enter the red zone. From the 18, Proctor with a nice gash to the right side, picks up the first down. The run defense has not been very good today. A lot of increases for Jeremy Proctor. Goal to go from the 7. He waits patiently and picks up 3. He's up to 122 yards already on 14 carries. They're going to give it this time to the other halfback, Deshaun Meekins, who will get it down to the 1, keeping the fresh legs in. And now you got goal to go from the 1, but it's going to be goal to go from the 6 because there's some movement. Right guard Malik Poole was one of the culprits. That'll back him up. They'll throw now forward instead. Looking right side, and he's intercepted. Picked off by the Seiki Chauncey Parkey, and Parkey's got some space. And he's going to get out to the 36-yard line. A huge turnover caused by the Gamecocks as they risk going down by 3 scores. Now they get the football back. Fortunately for them, though, it's quickly 3rd down. This is 3rd and 8. Brock wants to tuck it and run it himself, and he will not get there, inches shy. And they will not go for it. So I'll take us to the 2-minute warning as they're at the 25 of South Carolina. That's a quick pass for Sanders, who gains 2. That's the 6th grab of the day for Jared Cantwell. On some clock run as there's a man wide open on the right side. This is Carlos Duke, the senior, with it, who as a sophomore tied a team record with 14 touchdowns with Craig East. Goal to go from the 8, and there's a sack right at the middle. Angel Casey gets through, had double-digit sacks last year. He backs him up to the 19. Kentucky letting the clock wind down. A 2nd and goal. They want it. Oh, and he's intercepted again. This time picked off by Merrick, the Colorado transfer, with it. And he'll get out to the 23. And that's another interception forced in the end zone. Kentucky leaving points on the board. We're still down by 14. But now we got 36 seconds and 3 timeouts. We'll see what South Carolina do. They'll start with a quick pass to Gallegos for a gain of 9. They call their first timeout. 31 seconds now. Brock to throw for it. Looks short. He's got Frank McCord, and he will get out to the 44. South Carolina goes no huddle here, trying to preserve a couple of timeouts. As now the clock's starting to wind. Brock underneath center. He's going to go play fake bootleg to the left. Brock keeping his eyes downfield. Is going to tuck it and run. Gets a couple of key blocks, and he's out of bounds at the 34. And South Carolina in fringe field goal territory now, still with 16 seconds and 2 timeouts. Next play, Brock just checks it short for Todia. He will not get a first down, and that'll be the 2nd timeout. 9 seconds left now here to go for South Carolina. Brock to throw. Quickly moves to his right. Doesn't want to risk a sack. Throws it away. And that'll set up the 42-yard field goal try for Marquise Otogwe, who missed a 25-yarder earlier from right hash. This one, though, is up, and it is good. And Kentucky will take a 14-3 lead into the halftime reports as the Wildcats have looked like the better team all game long, but a couple of interceptions deep in South Carolina territory have kept South Carolina hanging around. The Gamecocks got to get the offense going here in the second half if they want to get back in this game. But fortunately for them, they will start off with the football here in the second half. From their own 25, Brock dumps it off short off the play fake for Todia, and he will gain 3 before being tackled by Khalil Steed and company. 2nd and 7, Todia now trying to go off tackle, will get some space, one of his best runs of the day. He picks up 5. Big 3rd and 2 here. They trust the ground, and Goodman with the fresh legs, and he'll get it for a gain of 9. That's Braden Goodman with it, the redshirt freshman. So now it's the 42. Todia checks back in, and again, nowhere to go. He meets his man in the hole. 2nd and 10 now. Man in motion. Brock looks his way, finds Frank McCord, who gets a first down before being spun down by the safety Davion Bolin. Now it's another first down. RPO to Gallegos for a gain of 5 on the bubble screen. He gets tackled out of bounds. Quickly back to the line. Brock looks to throw, and he finds Danny Cribbs. And this team is throwing the football efficiently. They just don't have a run game to really complement them, which is a shame. So first down, it's a play fake. Brock gets outside the pocket. Good coverage from Kentucky as Brock takes a hit because of it. That one's incomplete. 2nd and 10, Todia again right side. This is his best run of the day. He gets out to the 15. He's got 8 carries, 26 yards today. It's been a lot of passing. 1st and 10 from the 15. This time Brock will keep it himself. We've seen him become a lot more active as a runner this season. 5 carries on the day for him. 2nd and 6. This time he hands it off to Todia, who waits patiently and picks up 5. Now a big 3rd and 1. Brock wants to throw for it. Tries to step up, but he's hit down, and he'll kick the field goal. The South Carolina now within a possession. It's at least 14-6 after what was almost a 6.5-minute drive. First play of the second half for Kentucky is a gain of 7. Proctor 135 yards rushing on the day for him, having a great game. Gets the second other carry on 2nd and 3, but this time better defense will stop him. That's Maurice Bone leading the charge. Now it's 3rd and 2. Sanders looks deep, has a man behind the defense. Merritt gets beat, and this one will go the distance for a touchdown. Carlos Duke finds it for his 3rd of the season. That's a huge score for Kentucky, which now leads 21-6 going into the 4th quarter. A 15-point game, a quick quarter here. South Carolina down by 15 with a frame to play. At least they start the 4th quarter on the goal line. 3rd and 2 from the 3. A big play here for the Gamecocks. Brock will tuck it and run, and he will find the end zone for a touchdown as we get back to a 1-score game. 21-13 Kentucky as they get the football back. Here they're at their own 43, letting some clock run. It's a play fake. Sanders moves to his left, now wants to go right, but there's nowhere to go because Maurice Bone is there. It's going to be a gain of 1 for Sanders. Now a 3rd and 4. And there's some movement. It's going to go against the Gamecocks. Andy Everett gives them a free first down on the encroachment. Can't do that this late in the game. So after the free first down, it's now 2nd and 8 for Kentucky as they'll hand it off again to Proctor left side, and he will get a first down. Got to find a way to stop him. He's at 172 yards now on the afternoon as he'll get the next carry, and he will add a couple more to his name. 2nd and 8, 2 tight ends. It's going to be not a give. There's a lot of confusion. It looks like Kentucky's setting up a screen. They have guys running into each other, and that's Andy Everett on another sack. He's got 2.5 now. 3rd and 14, Sanders a throw, and Everett gets back there again. Him and Casey combine for the sack. It's a huge sack for Everett. It knocks Kentucky out of field goal range. So now South Carolina only down by a score, and they get a touch pass here to Juan Gallegos. No flag on this play as this one's out to the 30. A 50-yard just toss to Gallegos, who takes it and run with it. Now at the 30 of Kentucky, Brock to throw, looks short as Todia, and that's going to gain 6 out of the backfield. Brock at 250 on the afternoon. 2nd and 4, now on the ground for Todia, who gets a nice hole, and Keenan Todia picks up about 11. Spun down at the 13-yard line, 51 yards for him today. Next play, it's a screen for Beck, and Derek Beck will find the end zone for a touchdown. The true freshman from Indian Trail, North Carolina, puts South Carolina within 2. Now you have to go for the 2-point conversion here for the tie. Brock will keep it, and he has nowhere to go. And South Carolina still down 21-19. Work is not done yet. Kentucky's next drive starts off their own 25, and there's 4 on the ground for Proctor. 2nd and 6. They're probably going to lean on him a lot more. This time, no, it's a pass to Duke, who catches that inches shy of the the first down, I should say. 3rd and inches now. Handoff Proctor, and he's not going to get it. James Funk, the defensive tackle's there, and Kentucky will punt it. And now look, we're at the 2-minute warning. South Carolina only needs 3, and they're on fringe field goal territory. So they could win it here. They probably need another first down as they flip it to Gallegos for a gain of 4. Kentucky not using any timeouts. South Carolina, they're definitely going to let the clock run down. Interesting call by Kentucky, who has all 3. As now, after a loss of 1 for Todia, they'll burn their first. Big 3rd down here. Brock to the air. Looks short as Cribs for a first down. And it's a huge first down because now South Carolina can run it down and kick the field goal. Got to set yourself up nicely, though, as they hand it off to Todia, trying to center it, but he actually gets pushed to the left. Kentucky will burn their final timeouts. 2nd and 8. This time Todia will center it as he will get tackled down. 3rd and 6. They need to run one more play. They will, and Todia will get it a little bit closer, or it'll now be a try for South Carolina for the game. They'll call timeout. The clock now down to 2 seconds. And Marquise Otogwe is on the field for a 28-yard game winner. Wind is blowing from right to left. The kick is up, and it is good! Marquise Otogwe knocks it through, and South Carolina will win it. They complete the comeback in the 4th quarter and a win by a final score of 22-21. They were down by 15 points going into the 4th, and they get 16 and win it. What a game for South Carolina. Brock is your player of the game, but this was honestly a team effort. The defense played great early, trying to keep us within the game. Yes, they fell down 14-0, but after the half, they played great football, and don't forget, they forced 2 interceptions in the back of the end zone. This game could have been a blowout early, but the defense stepped up, and then finally the offense got what they needed to do in the 4th quarter, and they win this game. A huge win for the Gamecocks to start SEC play, and we're now 4-0 with a quality win against a ranked team underneath the belt. What a game for the Gamecocks. So it was a lot of fun as we get our players of the week. Andy Everett is your SEC player of the week thanks to 3 sacks, including that one to knock him out of field goal range. If he didn't knock him out of field goal range, we would have needed a touchdown to win the game. He also gets defensive player of the week. Good job for the sophomore pass rusher. Fortunately, though, recruiting, we lose out on one of the 5-star guys we were going after. It was always going to be hard to get Kareem Sturgis out of Florida, and he'll commit to the University of Miami. Your top stories in week number 5. Florida knocked off Oklahoma. A huge win for the Gators to beat the Sooners. Remember, Florida was not good last year. Wisconsin also falls. They beat Nebraska. The Cornhuskers with another huge win. And then Oregon takes down Washington in a close game. And then finally, Georgia destroys Missouri, looking like the team to beat. Here are your scores in Week 5, as we'll see SMU get a conference win over Louisville to begin ACC play. Notre Dame takes down Duke. They're now 6-0, the first 6-0 team on the season. Cincinnati loses at home to Utah to open up Big 12 play, and then at Coastal Carolina beats their rival Liberty on the Teal Field. We saw Georgia dominate Missouri in the games of the week, and Miami gets a big win against Wake Forest, now the number 3 team in the land. Michigan State, a nice victory over Purdue, 41-10. Kent State gets a road victory against Marshall. Good win for the Flashes. TCU with a 2-point edge over West Virginia. We see Middle Tennessee State take down Louisiana Tech in the Conference USA. And then the USC gets a big win in the Big House against Michigan. Oklahoma State takes care of Kansas State on the road by a touchdown. FIU knocks off EMU this week. And then South Florida beating in-state opponent in Florida Atlantic to start off 2-0 in the AAC. Western Kentucky takes care of Vanderbilt. It's been a tough non-conference slate for the Hilltoppers, and they go 3-1. Florida State loses at home to North Carolina. It's a big loss for the Seminoles, looking to start ACC play strong, and they don't. NC State back in the win column after 2 straight losses. They beat Stanford. Boise State with a victory. Oregon, we saw them in the game of the week take care of Washington in what looked like a classic. Houston starts off Big 12 play with a victory over UCF. Texas takes care of Tennessee, trying to right the ship out there in Texas. Texas Tech takes care of Colorado. The Buffaloes 0-4 start. Ouch. Iowa State with a victory over BYU as conference play continues to ramp up, including the AAC, where UTSA knocks off Army. UConn loses at home to Memphis. Appalachian State's now 4-1 with a victory over Troy. We saw Nebraska take care of Wisconsin 21-16. San Jose State over Ohio. And then we see UAB dominate Navy 45-7. Florida did beat Oklahoma to round out the week. Here are your players of the week. We know Andy Everett's defensive offense will be Tim Ruggs of New Mexico with 10 catches for 168 yards and 3 total touchdowns. While your SEC players, of course, Everett and Henry Econom of Georgia, their quarterback. Here's your new rankings. South Carolina moves up to number 7 after going up 2 spots. Wisconsin was one of the teams to lose. And we, hold firm. It wasn't a lot of upsets here in the rankings this week by just Oklahoma. And a lot of teams stay put with 2 teams entering the top 25. In terms of your big games this week, Nebraska, probably the hottest team in the Big Ten, will play host to number 2 UCLA. We'll see if the Bruins are legit. Texas has a non-conference game against Rutgers, 2 teams that want to keep their playoff hopes alive. Northwestern hosts number 4 Ohio State, and then Michigan will host number 5 Oregon, and a couple of top 5 Big Ten teams on the road. In terms of us, we're going to hit the road to face Tennessee, who are 2-1 and just lost their SEC opener to Texas. But this is one of those games that has trap written all over it. And we've seen how South Carolina has done against trap games in the past, whether it's lose to Mississippi State a couple of years ago or lose to Texas A&M last year. Tennessee looks like that trap team. This is a very good team. They got a lot of speed on offense. That's been the Volunteer motto for the past couple of years, including when they won the national championship a few years ago. So it's not going to be easy. It's still a good, talented Volunteers team, and South Carolina is going to have to bring their A game if they want to get their win on the road in Knoxville. Thank you guys so much for watching. How about the Gamecocks starting off 4-0? It's been exciting football as well. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.